Virginia is one of the birthplaces of America, but it is the birthplace of American agriculture. Today, all these years later, Virginia is still a very major player on the agricultural scene, but it's probably not known for anything more than the Virginia peanut. The peanut's so good, no matter where it's grown in the world, they're still called Virginia peanuts. Now, there's not a lot of crops where we can pinpoint the place where they started, the point of origin in the United States. Peanuts started right about here. Come on, let me take you where the food comes from. Mr. Billy, it looks like just a beautiful, lush green carpet out here in these fields. People would never believe what's just beneath the surface here.
I tell you, that's what most people don't understand. Most fruits and vegetables and nuts grow up above the ground.
Yeah.
Peanuts grow under the ground.
Under the ground.
And under these light, nice green, lush vines of lots of peanuts.
And lots and lots.
Lots of them.
And lots of peanuts.
And peanuts are the engine that runs this operation. Peanuts is the engine that runs our farm.
Yeah.
Our whole farm and operation is run from peanuts.
And there's a lot of people in Virginia would say that same thing, and that's part of, obviously, that's the legacy of Virginia. That's the history of Virginia. When they grow peanuts in other states and they still call them Virginia peanuts, that's telling you something right there.
That's right. Well, we're the first peanuts were grown 20 miles west of here.
First peanuts in the U.S.?
In the U.S., in between Wakefield and Waverly, Virginia.
Is that right?
And there's a big mark out there that designates that spot. The first peanuts in America were grown right here.
Wow.
So we can walk and step on the spot where the first peanuts were grown.
And all of this started there hundreds of years ago.
1600s.
1600s. So now, you ain't been out here since then, but you've been out here a minute. Something tells me your people probably weren't too far behind that curve. Tell me about your family story. How many generations of Gwaltneys have there been in this area?
Well, our farm started in the late 1885 is when our farm started, and my brother and I, which is a family farm, are the fourth generation, and the fifth generation is on the farm now working. So we're real proud of that, because anybody knows it's really hard to hold something together for that long,
Sure.
through all the adversity and all the histories, changing events in life. It's pretty hard, and we're really proud that we have, as a family, we have stuck together since 1885.
Now, what kind of crop are they to grow? I mean, there's some things that seems you can just drop a seed in the ground, it's just going, and you walk off and leave it, and you don't have to worry about it. And some things take a lot of attention and a lot of tender loving care. What's a peanut like? Are they temperamental?
Peanuts need a lot of attention.
Okay.
And a lot of bad things can happen to them real quick if you don't look after them. We do something to peanuts at least every 2 weeks.
Right.
But we walk them almost every day, you know, and it's not windshield walking. You know, we have to get out here and walk and look.
Because you got to see if there's a problem starting, you got to catch it early.
Quick.
It'll take out a whole field.
Exactly. It's just like if you get sick. If you don't wait and go to the doctor 3 weeks later, you know, your end result might not be as good, but if you catch it the next day, you know, it's pretty easy.
You're probably going to be fine.
That's
right.
like a peanut. And you see, that's what we want, these green vines. Now they are giving up a little bit because they have lived their lifespan. You know,
they're done. They're ready to come out of the ground.
fruit is ripe under them, and they are just sitting here.
What do y'all do over season once you take the nuts out of the field? Do you put any kind of cover crop behind them?
Yep, cover crop. We cover crop every acre. Every acre.
What do you put down?
In the Chesapeake Bay watersheds, every acre of our farm has cover crop on it.
And look, let's be real. I've never met a farmer. There's easier ways to make a living.
Oh my gosh, we got to love it to do it.
And you got to love it to do it. And you got to, every farmer I've ever met shared the same passion. They want to feed other people.
Well, we want to produce
feed other
something
people.
like this. This is what we want to produce, the best we can do. And one thing else I want people to leave with this is you better know where your food comes from. A lot of people don't realize all this food in the grocery store doesn't come from local farmers. It's a lot of it that comes on a boat. And you got to realize that nobody in the world is regulated like we are. Nobody.
We've been to the ports and done shows, and we've shown people how it comes in on those boats. Sometimes how it goes out on those boats and helps our farmers by exporting our crops. But it seems like a lot more of it comes in than goes out. That's a constant concern for us, and it's a growing issue that we're paying attention to.
We're as strong as we are because of ag. Say what you want to say. I've always heard, tear down the cities and we'll build them back. Tear down the farms and grass will grow on the streets in the city.
That's a really perfect way to put it. That's a really perfect way.
Because that's why the United States is what it is, because we've always been able to feed themselves. What happened in the Soviet bloc countries and stuff in the 80s, they got hungry. And you can't handle hungry people. And they couldn't feed themselves. And they're having an issue now feeding themselves. But the United States has always had an abundance of food. And I'm proud of that, and I hope everybody that watches this is proud of the fact that it just doesn't happen. This is work to make it happen.
And what we're trying to get them to understand is it's because of families like yours.
Well, I appreciate y'all saying that, but we love doing it. I mean, we love what we do, or we wouldn't do it.
Amen.
We love what we do, but we wouldn't do it if we didn't.
Hello.
Would y'all like a piece of Virginia Diner's famous peanut pie?
Oh, I think I'd love one, Caitlin. Can we get you one too?
Sure, sounds great.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my word, look at that. We've been out in the fields digging them all morning, Michelle.
Thank you.
So,
Enjoy.
well,
Thank
now
you.
we get to literally taste the fruits of our labors.
There
So,
you go.
thank you so much.
Y'all let me know.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you. Caitlin Joyner, we're digging in right here. This is kind of a little bit of a professional hazard for you.
Yeah.
You're with
so.
the Virginia Peanut Board, so you're kind of, it's a peanut flavored world as far as you're concerned.
It is.
But there's only one kind of peanut you have any real interest in.
Right, and that's a Virginia type peanut.
And not just a Virginia type peanut, but a Virginia type peanut grown in Virginia.
That's right. It's really interesting, a really cool legacy. Peanuts really got popular in the United States after the Civil War. So they've been around since the 1800s.
So there was already commercial crops even in the 1800s before the Civil War. People were growing peanuts commercially, but you're saying after the Civil War, boom.
And here in Virginia, that's good.
They are good.
Here in Virginia particularly, Mr. Obasi, he was an Italian immigrant from Pennsylvania, and he moved down here to Suffolk, and he actually started Planters Peanut Company that everyone knows.
With the monocle
Yes,
and the hat
and
and the whole thing?
That was
Is that
actually
what Mr. Obasi looked like, or was
No, they actually did a contest, and a high school student from Suffolk drew Mr. Peanut.
No
and that's
kidding.
where Mr. Peanut came from.
Wow,
So,
I hope they got a royalty on that.
oh yeah, I think they got their fair share.
Do you know how many farmers there are in the Virginia peanut community?
We've got about 200 peanut farmers,
Wow.
and it's only about 8 counties in Southeast Virginia that grow peanuts, but we have around 30,000 acres every year, give or take.
Now, Virginia is not the top volume peanut producing state.
No, we rank about 8th as far as U.S. peanut production, and there's around 13 states in the U.S. that grow peanuts.
And those other states are growing a different kind of peanut for different purposes. When we talk about the Virginia peanut, we're talking about this great big old peanut.
Right. They're considered to be a superfood. They've
Wow.
got 19 different vitamins and minerals. They're extremely heart healthy. They're naturally cholesterol free. They're very good for weight management. They're very diabetes friendly. And obviously they have a lot of protein, but they've got more protein than any other nut.
It's really amazing how diverse the peanut is and how many ways you can use it. But there's really no better way and no better use for the peanut than right there.
Absolutely, I would have to agree.
Unless maybe it's right there.
I would have to agree. And they really, every part of the plant is used. So they're
Really?
very sustainable, yes. So the vines, after they're harvested, they're either left out on the field and they provide fertilizer back to the soil, or they can also be baled as peanut hay, and livestock love to eat peanut hay. So, especially cattle. So that's a big thing around here is they'll bale it. just like any other round bale of hay.
So nothing goes to waste.
It really doesn't.
It's extraordinary. You better eat your pie before
Yeah.
I do. Kirk, I gotta tell you, we came to Virginia to tell peanut stories, but I'm pretty sure, just to look, that's not a peanut.
No, sir, it's not peanuts.
It's almost hard to talk about Virginia agriculture and not talk about cotton. And we're seeing several different peanut farmers, and a lot of them that we're seeing are growing cotton too.
We're in a great location to be diversified.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do we grow cotton, we used to grow wheat and soybeans, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of lost our market for it, and I'm sure it'll come back around.
Sure.
But we're also into beef cattle.
Mm-hmm.
And we grow some corn, cut silage, so we're just doing hay. We're in it all.
So this is more like old-fashioned farming. This is kind of the picture a lot of people have in their heads, as the farmer grows a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this. What that really does is it builds protection into your business model.
Yes, sir, and it allows me not to put all my eggs in one basket.
Right? Or all your peanuts in one basket.
Yes, sir.
How long have there been Joneses farming in this part of Virginia?
Well, I'm the 5th generation
Wow.
farmer on my dad's side. I'm 3rd on my mother's side. So I kind of got hit with a double whammy of the farm sword. So it's been.
You didn't have much hope, did you? You had no choice. This is what you were going to be doing.
It's what I was going to be doing, and you know, my son, he's coming. He's 4 years old, and he's eat up with it.
Is he already riding on the tractor with Daddy?
He's already telling me how to drive it.
I was about to say, is he already fussing to be able to drive it himself?
Yeah, I've sat in the buddy seat, and a lot of our tractors now with technology, you have to have a certain amount of weight on the seat for it. to
Okay,
keep
sure,
going.
sure.
So I'm
sure.
sitting half on the seat, and he's sitting there. Get off! I got this. So he's something else. He'll be 5 in middle of October. So he's just, you know, doing what he loves. I mean, I love it. I love it. I mean, if you don't love this life,
You better not be in it.
No, it'll chew you up and spit you out. I mean, you have to absolutely love your job as a farmer to be successful.
How old were you when you started getting out in it? And how old were you what are some of your early memories? I know when you were a kid, you thought you were working, but you were probably playing. At some point, that play actually turned to work. What was it like growing up out here and being part of all this?
Well, growing up on the farm, you know, you kind of always wonder, you know, why is Dad not home? Or, you know, where's Dad? And, you know,
Why can't we go on vacation?
Yeah, why can't we go on vacation? I mean, we've been on vacation before, and Dad had to come home and spray. I've had to do the same thing with my life. But, you know, it kind of got to the point when I was about 10 to 12 that I was like, you know, I'm getting too big to ride with him, but I'm able to go out there in the field and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not in the same tractor as him, I'm in the same field. So that's kind of when I started to learn how to drive a tractor.
Do you feel some of that weight of history? Do you feel some of that responsibility, or you just get up and go to work?
I've never really looked at it like that. I've always, you know, I love what I do, but I love being able to provide, you know,
There it is.
and provide a good quality product. I mean, I take care of it because I eat it too. I consume it.
Mm-hmm.
I wear it. I wear the cotton.
Mm-hmm.
The peanut oil, I fry in it. I mean, it's soybean oil. It's everything we do it to the best of our ability, because we know not only us are eating it, but you're eating it as well.
You know what? They can make every machine and every piece of equipment they want to do. That's the one part of farming they'll never replace, is the heart.
Yep, because when I sit down at my table, I know that there's other farmers like me that put in the same amount of time, the same amount of passion to provide food that sits at the table. It's not just theirs, but yours. And when you sit down and break it down like that, you really appreciate the American farmer.
Amen. Amen. Peyton Doyle,
Yes, sir.
this is about as pretty a sight as I've laid eyes on in quite some time.
Thank you, sir.
We're sitting here, this is actually your mom and dad's house.
Yes, sir.
So this has been part of your family legacy and heritage and history since you were about the size of your young son, I think he's about 4. I've seen running around
Yes, sir.
out there.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So how long have they been doing farming in this part of the world?
1940s.
So y'all
early
are,
1940s.
y'all are newcomers, man.
Yeah,
Y'all are
we're the new ones.
just babies in the game. Only 80 years
That's
or
right.
something like that. So what who got in farming first? Was that a granddaddy or a great granddaddy?
My great granddaddy did. Farmed and drove the school bus.
Okay.
So
All right.
he did a little bit of both.
So then at that point, your dad comes along
Yes, sir.
and he says, all right, I think I'm gonna throw my hand in
Yeah, I
this.
think he started in 1970, 71 or 72.
And I'm sure there were changes from the way that granddaddy did it. And then flash forward a little ways longer, here you come. Now you come into the game. I'm sure there's been more changes. There's things
yeah.
that you deal with every day that's second nature to you. Did all this speak to you? Did it call your name? Are you one of those who just always knew what you were gonna do and always knew that you were gonna follow the family footsteps? Or were there other things you wanted to do? Did you think this is what you'd wind up doing?
Well, I didn't like going to school. and I always knew this is what I wanted to do.
Right.
And if there was any way I was be able to do it, this is what I wanted to do.
And that's how it's worked out.
That's how it's worked out so far.
So are you and your dad still working together? Is he part of y'all?
Every day.
So y'all are a team. So he's not, of course. Look, there ain't no old farmer ever retires. You know that.
No.
He might tell you he's going to retire, but
No, I don't. Well, I hope he doesn't retire.
all right, okay.
I don't want him to.
Well, he never will anyway. So, and again, even if he says he's retired, you'll be looking over your shoulder and there'll be every day anyway.
That'd
So
be fine.
that's a good way to
Be
have
fine.
it then. That's a good way to have it. So y'all are peanut people like so many farmers in this part of Virginia, but like I think every peanut person we've met, we go some places and we see people are planted in one crop. They're growing nothing but onions. So they're growing nothing but broccoli. They're growing nothing but cruciferous veggies. They're doing, and here we see everybody. I don't know if y'all just got a better idea or if you got enough eggs that you and enough baskets that you want to put some different eggs in some different baskets. You got a pretty good crop mix, but it's pretty typical for this area. Tell us what you grow.
Well, we grow cotton, peanuts, soybeans, a little bit of corn. We got a few cattle. We're right diverse operation.
So that's more like old school farming.
Yes,
what
sir.
we would think about, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What that does is by spreading it out like that, you've got some economic protection against some markets going sour.
Yes, sir. You can kind of, if one of them isn't the best, you can always hope to fall back on another one.
And shooting through the thread of all of that, what we're hearing from most of these peanut growers, peanut is the most stable. It's the one you're going to be most able to count on. Peanut's literally the one you take to the bank, especially when you're going and saying, I need a loan to get my next seed, and I need to get this. They go, well, how much peanuts you got?
That's right.
Because we know the peanuts are going to make.
That's right.
And peanuts are a pretty good bet.
Yeah,
so.
peanuts been stable crop here for, I don't know, since the beginning. I mean, since on this farm since the 40s, been peanuts here.
You got a little girl and a little boy over there. They look like what? They're about 7 and 4.
Seven and four.
7 and 4. When you look at them, do you see yourself out here? Do you see yourself out in this yard?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I sure do. I hope one of them wants to do it one day. I hope both of them want to do it one day. We'll see.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? It's a little early, but something tells me that little tow-headed boy we see over there is probably pulling at daddy's leg every time he goes out the door saying, come on, take me, I want to get on the tractor.
Oh yeah, I always want to ride the tractor, play with tractors. I farm all day and then come home and have to get in the floor and farm all night with little tractors. But that's
the stakes are a little bit
yeah,
different
that's
in
fine.
that one, you know.
That's fine.
So I'm surprised he's not already campaigning to drive the tractor.
Oh, he if you put him up there in the seat, he'll try.
I
He'll
thought
try.
I figured he might think that. I figured he might think that at this point. Peyton, on the whole, it looks like just a beautiful life, man.
It is. It is a perfect. I'm not gonna say it's easy.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of things I miss out on family-wise. You know, ball games and
Be nice to take a vacation sometime.
yeah, but they understand it.
Yeah.
They know, and it's a great life.
It seems like such a simple thing, but the peanut has really powered the world. There are millions of people around the world depend on it for subsistence. We get oil from it. We get other industrial needs from it, but some of us are just lucky enough to live places where we can have some anytime we want out here where the food comes from.